Okay, I just got out of didn't get out of anywhere. I had the screening at my home. I didn't go anywhere to see this. I just finished sort of an advance-ish screening. Not really, though, because some people have already seen it. There's already ratings out for this thing on IMDb. Not a huge amount of ratings on Rotten Tomatoes because this film isn't going to be a big, huge deal. But what I was starting to say is that I just finished watching a screening of 6 Minutes to Midnight. Now, I was interested to check this out because I had seen a trailer for it a few weeks back, maybe several weeks back. I don't recall exactly. And I remember that I really liked the trailer. It looked very interesting. The whole sort of suspenseful setup, and he's there kind of like a spy-ish, and it's a school in England, like a boarding type school in England for German girls, and these girls they're like the daughters and granddaughters of very prestigious Nazis from Germany. It's not really completely explained why the girls were even sent over there. I don't really quite understand all that, because I have to say that this is one of those movies where the trailer is much more entertaining, or it's much better than the film itself. This movie was quite a disappointment. I kind of knew going into it that there were a lot of mixed reviews because the ratings on this are about 50%. On IMDb, it's like 5.6 or something like that, which isn't great. It's just like, eh. And Rotten Tomatoes, I think the official critics is like 63%. But it's only a handful of reviews in for this. Because like I said, this is not going to be a big, huge deal. It might get more attention in England because this is a UK film. All the actors are British, or I don't know if they were, I don't know how many of the actors in there might have been German as well. I'm not sure. There were plenty of people speaking German. But anyway, it feels to me like this was a film that had a lot of potential, but it fell short in such a bad way. I was in such a great cast too, and such an interesting premise. But the thing about it is, well, one of the things about it is, as it says here in this poster, based on incredible true events. The only thing true that it was based on is the fact that there was really a school like this in England. I looked it up right before I started to film this, that I think they said it was established in 1932 and was dissolved in 1939, right around the time, the war was starting. So that's about the only true thing in it. That's it. All the other stuff in this movie was just pure fiction, which is fine. I don't mind mixing, presenting a story. Oh, it's inspired by true events or based on a true story, whatever. That's fine, as long as the story itself is interesting. So I can't help but compare this to The Courier that I saw last week and did a review for right after I was done with it, just like this. Not sad after finishing. I mean, I'm sad that it was a disappointment, but not to the level that I was brokenhearted when I finished The Courier. What was I going to say? The Courier, that was probably most of the events in there were a true representation, or fairly accurate representation of what happened. But that was an example of a film that was very well done. The writing was good. The pacing was good. It flowed well. In this particular film, the complete opposite. The pacing isn't great. The writing, while it had promise, the way it all came together was just not, it fell flat. And it was really disappointing because, well, apparently Eddie Izzard was involved in the writing for this. So I guess that tells us maybe his writing talents aren't up to par. Because this film, it's hard for me to put this into words, but basically you don't really feel connected to the characters. You don't understand why are these German girls so important to, so he's a spy. Yeah, there's going to be some spoilers here, you guys. He's a spy and he's sent to this school. He poses as a teacher. He's half German, half British, so he can speak German. And he's sent there because the guy that was there before him that was also spying on the school, he was killed. So he comes there and he sort of starts to establish some, shows a scene or two of him teaching in the class and everything. And then right away, it jumps very quickly into this, the German girls, they have to be sent out. And, he needs to try to stop them from sending them out. And then someone comes and kills his contact, and then he runs away, and then they think he killed the contact, and then he's caught and he's taken to jail. And then the cops that come and talk to him, he tells them, I'm really working for you guys, and this is the situation. And so he says, call this number. And so the head cop, who's played by James Darcy, if that's the right way to say his name, it's got that apostrophe there, so I don't know if there's a different inflection, but anyway, he calls, and then he seems like he's starting to sort of believe what's being told. And so then he takes Eddie Izzard back to the school in handcuffs. And Judi Dench is like, why'd you bring him back here? And they take him, the guy takes him up to the room, and he's talking to him, and he's telling him, look, this is a situation. Look up in the fireplace. I've got something up there. It's like a, film from a camera. And then you find out that this cop is a double agent, and he's like a German spy or something, and he's helping one of the girls at the school that's like heading up this whole thing with trying to get the German girls out of there. And there's just all this running around and chasing, and a bus driver steps in and helps. And at some point, Eddie Izzard steals the clothes of some guy in a band, and he's running around, and it's just... It was just like, what? And then it ends up with this, they're having a showdown at the place where the German plane is supposed to come and get the girls, but then it gets intercepted, and then it goes off, and then it's, oh, hey, Chibi. Come here, little girl. Hold on a second. Come here, Chib. There you are, my baby. Okay, so what was I saying before I got interrupted by my little chihuahua? They have a showdown at the place where the German girls are supposed to be picked up, and Eddie Izzard's there, and he's like, no, don't do this. And because the person who's trying to get the German girls out of there, it's like, well, if she can't get the German girls out of there, she's going to kill them. Well, she only has one gun with only a few bullets, and there's several German students there. And so it's like, that doesn't even make, number one, well, these girls are too important for them to be left alive if they can't get out. Why? They're just, there's nothing, they can't offer anything of importance to England. They don't know anything. They're just family members of Nazis. Maybe you could say, well, they could be held as hostage, but it didn't make any sense why these German girls were so important to stop them from leaving. I don't know. It just felt so like chopped up. I could follow the sequence of events, but everything felt so crammed together and so fast paced, and it didn't make much sense. And you didn't really feel completely connected to the characters. Like, he just shows up. You don't really feel like you're connected to him. He's not a very compelling character. Nobody in here is really a compelling character. There's one of the girls that's a student, and she's kind of sort of singled out as someone who might play this super important part, but she really doesn't. And it's just, the only important part that she plays is like, she's one of the German girls that's directly in the line of fire from possibly getting killed because they can't escape Germany. It's just, I don't know. It actually kind of annoys me, really, because I feel like if it had been written much better, if it had been longer, maybe, I don't know if there was a lot of stuff that was just cut out of here, and maybe that's why. The movie itself, including the credits, is about an hour, just under an hour and 40 minutes. That's enough time to tell a really good story, you guys. The Lost Boys is about that long. The first Terminator is... I come back to Terminator all the time. The first Terminator might be a little bit longer than this, but still, it told a lot of really interesting story in less than 2 hours. So it's not like it can't be done, and it's not like this is, sorry It's not like this is a Justice League situation where there was so much story to tell and the studios forced it to be cut in half down to 2 hours when it's really 4, and so it was just way too compressed. It's not like the plot is really intricate, and it just, I just think it could have been done so much better. Like there's this World War II spy movie that I didn't think I would like when I first saw it. And, you know, it's not the greatest. It doesn't have the greatest reviews. But to me, that story is more compelling and interesting than this. And the movie that I'm referring to was called Shining Through, with Melanie Griffith and Michael Douglas. Like I said, not the greatest, but it's a fun watch. And it's decently written, decently acted, and you do feel a connection with the characters much more than the characters in here. It just feels like they're just kind of thrown together and everything's just kind of jumbled up into a blender, and this is what we got. And it's not super entertaining. It's not engaging. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it, and you're just thinking, well, what was the point? It's just, I don't know. It feels like it could have been, I think I've said this before, that it could have been so much better, especially with the people involved. I don't know. Just, I feel like I've ranted. Yes, I have ranted because I was kind of annoyed, actually. I was looking forward to seeing it. I mean, I didn't think that I was going to be absolutely blown away, but the whole time I'm watching it, I was thinking to myself, man, the trailer made this thing look so kick-ass, and it absolutely wasn't. It's just not, I mean, it might be fun enough to pass the time, just have it playing, kind of watch it, but I don't know, you guys, I wish I had a better way to kind of express myself. This is just me, like I said, talking off the top of my head, because I don't have all these nice prepared scripts to go by, but yeah, that's how I feel about this movie. I am looking forward to the next film that I'm going to be screening in 2 days, Thursday evening, which is, what is today? I don't know what today is, you guys. Today's the 23rd. Thursday evening, on the 25th, I'm going to be screening Kong vs. Godzilla. I'm actually looking forward to that one. So what I need to do is go back and watch the previous Godzilla movie, the one with Millie Bobby Brown, because I only sort of watched that halfway in passing. It was on, and my brother was watching it, and I caught bits and pieces of it, but not really the whole plot itself. I don't know if it's really even important, but I have seen the other two, like actually watched them and paid attention, so I kind of feel like I would like to go back and watch that one with my full attention, just because it does tie directly into the upcoming film. Hopefully that one will be more entertaining and enjoyable than this particular one was. I kind of have a feeling it might be, but you never know. I might be disappointed. Anyway, okay, well, that's it for my review of 6 Minutes to Midnight. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you think. If you think I'm completely off my rocker when it comes to my disappointment with this film, let me know if you agree with it, or if you can, maybe you can express it in better words than I could. But yeah, this was a pretty big disappointment, and it wasn't even something I had high anticipation. I mean, it's not like it was a Terminator Dark Fate, you know. That was what I mean is, it wasn't like I had this huge anticipation for it like Terminator Dark Fate, and then I was super disappointed like I was with Terminator Dark Fate. But I think it just annoys me that the trailer looks so interesting, and then I watch this and it's just like, really? I could have seen something better than this. I could have rewatched Justice League. No, that would have taken twice as long. Whatever, it's okay. I'm glad I watched it so I could at least make a review for it, and yeah, well, can't think of anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Later, guys.